right, so we are going to kind of remake a video that I did a few years ago. It was a Facebook Live, and I know that sometimes rewatching those videos can be a little difficult. They're just, they're not what I do now. So I try to give you guys a better product. And in the process of this all, I was talking to my friend Michelle of A Noble Touch, and it was a Wednesday afternoon, and we were trying to come up with something to put up on YouTube. And I said, well, or she actually said, I'm going to do your Zinnia pedal, but with burlap, regular burlap. And I said, you know what? I'll do my Zinnia pedal too. And so when you're done watching this video, I want you to go check out Michelle of A Noble Touch, because she's going to have her little take, and she's going to show you how to do a center, and she does something different with it. And then my friend Amber from This Southern Girl Can, she is going to do her take on my Zinnia pedal as well. So 2 more videos for you to watch, 2 more ideas how to make these wreaths be fabulous. So let's talk about what we're going to use. We are going to use a Dollar Tree 8-inch wreath form. I'm going to line this up with my plastic canvas. Yes, I've used some of it. That's all right. You can get plastic canvas in like the yarn section at your local craft store, and the Wreath shop sells it as well. So I will leave those links in the description box. I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to cut this out and attach it with zip ties, and then our frame will be ready. It'll be ready to go. And again, Dollar Tree sells these, and my link is, I will have a special link for these if you need to order them online. The next thing, and again, if you want to order from Dollar Tree, are these little craft foam. And you get 2 of them. I've been using these for years. I've been showing you guys for years how to make centers with these. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to take this and transform it to this. And we're going to be using this peel and stick mossy mat. And of course it's not going to stay green, but it can stay green if you want a green center. And then this blue poly burlap is on sale right now. As of the end of July 2021, go get this at the Wreath shop. I will leave a link in the description box below. I think it's only like $7 a roll, I think. Don't hold me to it, but that's a great price. And so then I will make the decision whether I want to go with the moss green or olive green or the lime green. I think no, is it called the lime green? I can't remember. So I thought the blue with the brown would be pretty, just a little bit, a pop of color. If you want a more fall look, you'd use the darker green. If you want more of a summer look, you would use the lighter green. So let's get started and make a beautiful wreath. So what is the first step? We're going to cut our mesh. We're going to use a wood burner with the angled, or the edge or the angled tip. And I'm going to cut these at 10 inches long, okay? And I'm not really sure how many I'm going to use. Again, by the end of the video, we will know, but I'm going to cut all of this mesh at 10 inches. I'm thinking that I'm going to need at least 25 petals. So I'm going to make sure I at least cut 20, and then I will put it together. Well, if you've noticed, I got a new mat. It doesn't have any cuts on it or anything like that yet, but I did order it from Amazon, and it came in a nice huge box. It wasn't bent at all, and I have them in my Amazon shop. So make sure you click on anything. Click on the description box below, find my links for that. Okay, again, got this at the Wreath shop. It's on sale right now of July 2021. So what are we going to do? We are going to take our petal. It really doesn't matter if it's this way or if it's this way. It's not going to matter because we're going to hide it all. We're going to come in the middle there, okay? Like we would make a regular petal, but we're not going to make a regular petal. What we're going to do is we are going to measure. Now this goes from 10 to about 25, okay? So at the about 8 inches in, I'm going to gather it. Now, I am purposely making one side shorter than the other side, okay? I am going to take, you can do one of 2 things. And I just made, that's probably loud. And I forgot to cut these. I'm going to take zip ties this time. You could take, no, I'm going to take chenille stems this time. You could take a little zip ties if you want, but I'm going to do it with this because it's closer to the color of my poly burlap here. And of course I can't cut it because I'm trying to hold 2 things at once. I'm going to take my chenille stem and I'm going to attach it right here, and I'm going to twist it, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay that down, all right? So what do we got here? We've got about 8 inches here, and we have about 7 inches here. So one is slightly shorter than the other. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the longer over and I'm going to pull, and we are going to form a zinnia petal. This is something I've done for a long time. And then you're just going to kind of like tuck it under here. And I guess if you wanted to not do the wood burner, you could skip that step. But for me, I'm going to keep doing the wood burner because it just reduces my fraying. So you're just going to kind of tuck it in, and then you're just going to, like, you know, play with your petal a little bit, and you're going to flip it on the back. Now, this is what the back looks like. This is going to look different, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my frame, like I showed you before. I told you before I was going to take some plastic canvas and I put it. So we're going to work on this middle frame because this is a little lower, and we're going to use this frame for our leaves. So I'm simply just going to take it, and I'm going to take my zip tie, and I am going to attach it. Now, do you need to cut the bottoms of your flower off? Probably not, but it's probably a good idea if you do. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm just going to kind of sculpt it a little bit to kind of have it a little bit farther out. So how long is that? That is about 5 inches. So you want your petal base to be about 5 inches long, okay? So I'm going to cut that. And then let's see if these are some scissors that I got. Oh, these are great. One of you guys recommended these to me, and I will find these and add them to my Amazon shop, and they work great. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to keep doing the same thing and go all the way around. Now, how many are we going to need? I don't know. So let's do it again. So I'm going to come in the middle, and then I'm going to look on here and at the 8. So basically the 8 inch or 18 inch, because I'm doing it from 10. So 8 inches, I'm going to start and gather it. So that leaves 7 inches and 8 inches. I'm going to cut. You should be able to get, I think my clippers are getting dull. I've only had them like for 5 years. So anyways, I'm going to twist, and then I'm just going to lay that over onto the shorter end. I'm going to bring this side over, the longer, and we're going to just kind of tuck under the sides. Now, this is not at the top, it's behind the petal. So do you see that? See how that's the top of your petal? So you're going to gather it on the back side of the petal. So that's just really something to kind of pay attention to. So I'm going to take another zip tie, and we're going to put it pretty close. Yep, I just want it to touch. So I'm not sure how many we're going to need for each section. The Dollar Tree frame has 3 sections. You don't even have to use this frame. If you have 10 inches, just know you're going to need more petals. If you want to use a 12 inch, again, more petals. Maybe you need to do 3 layers of petals instead of the 2 layers that we're going to do. It's really up to you and what you want to do. So I'm going to take these scissors again, and I'm just going to cut it. It cuts really easy. So just kind of angle those. So I'm just going to keep going here, make another one, and I'm going to fill it around, and I will be back. Okay guys, depending on the size of wreath and depending on how you make your petals, you're going to need between 19 and 20 for the first row, okay? It really is a preference thing. You might make your petals thinner, you might make them shorter. It's just whatever your style is for this wreath. So the next point of this wreath is we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to take our petals and again, meet in the middle. I kind of make sure at the about 8 inch mark, I'm going to gather, take a little piece of pipe cleaner, and again, you can use a zip tie if you like, and I just twist it and bend it over. Take the longer side, and then I'm just going to kind of pull at the ends. See, they don't really match up there. And then at this point, I'm just going to tuck under the raw edges, and we are going to make that petal. So that's pretty much it. All right, so we went over that one more time. I'm going to use my chip clip. I know they're not chip clips, but in my house they are. What I want to do is, I've already got this center made, so I just want to make sure that I have the right spot here. So where my finger is, I'm going to put a zip tie through here, is about the right spot to start that second row, okay? So let me tell you how many inches. I love my rotary mat because it does help me. So it's about 1 and, well, nope, actually it's not. It is about 1.25 inches. 1.25 inches from that bar. I wasn't seeing that bar, I was just seeing the second bar. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my petal and I'm going to place it down and attach it, and then when we do the next one, we're just going to do it, make sure that it's close enough to this one. And again, these scissors even cut the zip ties that I like to use really easily. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place another zip tie pretty close. I think I'm going to have one in between, one space in between. Okay, I'm going to make another petal here. This is a little fun. It's a little different. I don't typically make these petals very often. I don't know. I don't know why I haven't used this more. I don't think I've made it this wreath since I put this on YouTube a few years ago. So I used it in a daisy tutorial, I believe, but I haven't made a smaller version. Okay, so that's pretty much close enough. Yep. I'm gonna put that on. I'm gonna show you how to make the center here in a moment, but let's just see. Yep, is that gonna cover it? Just kind of making sure it covers it. So that's how it's gonna look. So I'm just gonna keep going around my wreath frame here. And honestly, these scissors are better right now. These are so old, and I think they're kind of rusting a little bit. I'm gonna set those to the side, and I'm just gonna keep going along here, and I'm gonna finish these petals, and I will let you know how many we use. Okay, so at this point in the video, I'm gonna tell you I used, I believe, 30 petals, about maybe 29. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yes, 30 petals total, because I used 19 on the outside and 10 or 11 on the inside. Now, that's for an 8-inch wreath frame. I didn't go by sections. We're just going by our layers, okay? If you wanted to do this for a 14-inch wreath frame, I would count on doing a third layer out here. Okay, and then you do 1, 2, 3. I'd have 3 layers. Make sure you get 2 rolls of mesh. You might hear my elephants upstairs. Anyways, let me show you really quick. I did cut a piece of felt, and everybody always asks me, where do you get your felt? I get it by the yard at like Hobby Lobby or Joann's or Walmart, if your Walmart has a fabric section. And I just have a whole bunch, like a stash, and it lasts me quite a while. So let's add our leaves. So basically I decided to go with a little bit brighter color. Again, depending on what you're using, since I'm using this really pretty blue, I decided to keep it a little brighter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pick a spot. I'm thinking I wanna do 5 petals, okay? And I'm putting the zip tie underneath there. And then I'm going to have finished side at the bottom, finished side at the top, and I'm going to make our basic petal here, okay? And I'm going to bring it up and just add it to our frame. I know a lot of people will ask me, why didn't you just do that at the beginning? Mainly because I didn't want to fool around with these petals and risk having them fray, okay? I want this to be the last thing I do, because I just don't want to risk fraying the poly burlap. The more that you lay your hands on things, the more that you twist things and flip it over and all that sort of thing, you're going to have more risk there. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Let's put one there. Let's see. Let's do one about right here. because this is not the typical like 10-inch wreath frame that I'm using, so I'm just gonna just kind of eyeball it, to be honest, and we're gonna use an odd number of leaves. Perfection is not required, so I want you to know that. Don't hold yourself up to a standard of perfection when it comes to creating, because sometimes your beauty might not be somebody's standard of perfection, and the same thing for somebody else. And I just like to be me, okay? I don't want to be compared to anybody else, and just do your best, and your best is going to be good enough, I promise. So I'm just going to add some more leaves throughout, and then we're going to make the center. Okay, so we want to make a brown center for this. I mean, honestly, you could make a green one, but I just like the brown for me. So if you like the green, keep it green. I'm going to tell you, all you have to do is, once we make the center, is spray paint this brown. So it's going to take probably maybe 3 coats, and you're going to let it dry in between, but let's show you how to get here. Now, sometimes if you're purchasing the centers, which I do like to do from time to time, but they're not always available. So when they're not available, I make my own. And I really like these little foam discs that you get that are not quite 5 inches around, but are almost 5 inches around at Dollar Tree. So it's just a really good value. And I order a case of these guys, and I keep it on hand, and it will last me quite a while. So basically, this is the peel and stick, and you can get this at Hobby Lobby, but you can also get this in my Amazon shop as well. And because Hobby Lobby doesn't do their coupons anymore, it's about the same price at Amazon now. So what I do is I just kind of eyeball it, and I'm just going to kind of try to get to the edge as possible, and I'm just going to go around here. And I try to be frugal with this, because this is, you know, for a sheet of it, I want to say it's around $15. But what's the nice thing about this is that you can patch any parts that you might have an empty spot. So even though I might not be using this, I will end up using it, because you can even patch together one of these. All right, so there we go. Put this to the side, and it is a little messy. I will warn you about that one right now. It's a little messy. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are just going to take this apart, if my nails will let me do it. And I don't have my glasses on, so that, oh, there we go, I can see it now. Are you one of the crafters that you have to have your glasses? I do. So listen, if you go watch Michelle of A Noble Touch, she's going to use just a regular jute burlap for hers, and Amber is going to use deco mesh. So we're all using something different. I'm going to see if this helps get it apart. It is super sticky, and it just wants to stick to my nails. So make sure you go watch their videos and leave them a blue heart. Since we're making a blue flower, leave them a blue heart. Okay, so once it comes off, it comes off. But listen, look at that. It is sticky. So wait, I want to do something before we start this step, because you lovely audience members, I want to say ladies, but I know I have men that watch me, so I don't want to just say ladies, because I know there are a few guys out there. Okay, really, Julie? I can't get it to stop sticking to my nails. Okay, I got it. I'm going to grab one of my 22 gauge pieces of wire, and I'm going to go through the top of this, okay? So we're going to go through the top of that. Now, before I get to the bottom there, I need some white felt. Hold on. Okay, I found a little piece. It's one of those things where I forgot to take care of this before we started here. Okay, again, you got to be really careful with this. All right, stop. Okay, I'm just going to cut a little piece of felt, and I'm going to glue it to my foam, just so that that wire isn't tempted to come all the way through. All right, all right. Press it down. All right, and then I'm going to just go like so here. All right, let that cool down and get down. And you want to get it as flat as you can because we don't want this to show through. All right, oops, don't do that to me. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna try to put this in the center as best. I did not cut a very good circle. There we go. Now I can get this off. Okay. And all you're gonna do is you're gonna go one side here, and then I'm gonna go to the opposite side, and another side, and so forth, until we get all the sides. I'm telling you, this stuff is super sticky, super duper sticky. All right. But am I done? No. I'm going to add one more layer of protection for this moss because I want to make sure that it's going to stay put. Okay, I think in the original video I didn't even have this sticky moss. It wasn't even an option. But as you can see, if you wanted to do just a green one, that would be really pretty too. Okay. Now listen, you can spray this all sorts of colors. Now if you want to spray it like a yellow, you might need to put a primer on it first, and you're going to need to put several layers, okay? But the brown, you don't need any primers. Okay, so where are my little pens? These are some of my favorite pens. I know that they're, okay, pens. I grew up near West Virginia, Southern Ohio, and that's how I say it, guys. And so some of you like to point that out, and that's okay. I appreciate it. It means you're paying attention. But I do my best. It's the way, kind of the dialect that I was raised with. All right, so we're just gonna kind of put some pins. I seriously have to try really hard to say it the right way. And sometimes I just don't think about it. And this is just going to add a little bit layer. If you're worried, if you don't live in Arizona or California where it's really hot and such of a place, you don't need these. But if you're in the South, if you're, Texas, anywhere like that, you're going to want these. So what would you do next? Well, spray paint it. Do whatever you want. But that's the way it looks. And there you have a center. And again, 50 cents for this. This is about $15 for a thing, but what you can do is you can cut pieces if you have any gaps, and you can just press it in and you'll never know the difference. It seriously hides a multitude of flaws. So I really like it. It's a really easy center to make, and it's ready to go. All right, so let's put in our brown center because I wanted the brown, so we're gonna put the brown in. Now listen, if you've watched me so far, again, leave me a blue heart, and then leave the girls, Michelle and Amber, a blue heart on their videos if you come from here and go to their spot. Pull this over, and then I want you to find me on Facebook, on Instagram, on Pinterest, and I'm on TikTok now, guys. So all my links are in the description box below, and come find us and we'll have some fun on those social media platforms. And also get on my mailing list. You're not going to want to miss. If you are a creator and you have a business, I'm going to be having a program very soon, the beginning of August, called Jumpstart with Julie, and how to get your business jump started on social media. What you need to know. And I can kind of give you all my tips and tricks, okay? I've been on social media for a while, and I have quite a following. On Facebook alone, I have 227,000 followers. So get on that email list, because that email list will let you know when it opens up. So I'm going to just take this. I'm going to poke some holes, in it, like so. And I'm going to just attach it. I'll find my shorter zip ties here in a minute. And I'm just going to attach it to the wreath frame, like so, and then I'll just pull it under. So what I'll do is it'll go all the way around. You really don't need a hook because you're gonna hang it from the wreath frame itself. But I hope you enjoyed this video. This was fun to make, and I'm glad that I was able to do it with some friends. This was a kind of a spur of a moment type of deal. We didn't plan a collab or anything like that. But I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel and to the girls as well. And I hope you enjoy making a zinnia. I really like it. All the links in the description box. And we'll see you next time in Julie's Wreath Boutique.